everybody who sits in this role, because the superintendent is a lonely place.
Lonely.
But every decision, because you make decisions as a superintendent, that's going to affect the whole community, especially the whole schooling community. A lot of the skills, I was a pastor before I got into the school system. So those skills I had in the church helped me to maneuver with people that may not always agree with me, but they knew that I was trying to lead right and to do what was best. Just to have that resolve some days when you feel like you're in this role by yourself, knowing that God is with you, and he said that I will be with you always.
Take a seat and let's dive into the education unknown. In the superintendent's chair with Dr. Anthony, where dreams unfold. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Superintendent's Chair. I'm your host, Dr. Anton Anthony. The mission of this podcast is simple: to preserve the stories, the leadership lessons, and the vision of educational leaders while helping communities better understand the work behind the title of superintendent. Every superintendent has a story. Every school district has a vision. And every conversation reminds us that leadership is ultimately about serving people. Today's conversation is especially meaningful to me. Our guest is more than a superintendent. He's a mentor, he's a pastor, a respected educational leader, and someone I have personally leaned on throughout my journey and leadership. During my time serving as superintendent, Dr. Watkins never hesitated to answer a phone call, offer wisdom, or encourage me when I needed it. Today, he serves as superintendent of Johnson County Schools. He leads a district built on the belief that it takes the whole community. It is truly an honor to welcome my friend, my mentor, and my brother in Christ, Dr. Christopher Watkins. Sir, thank you so much for taking a seat in the superintendent's chair.
Thank you, Dr. Anthony, and thank you for your kind words. And that's what it's all about in this role, is to offer the help that all of us got, because the old African proverb is true. It takes a village to get us all where we need to be. And so I've had other forefathers that helped me along my educational leadership journey, and so I'm glad to give back.
I really appreciate you. I don't want to say I was a charity case, but when you are thrown into the role of a superintendent, listen, you think you know what you're doing, but when you sit in that seat, I had no clue. So I had to call mentors across the state, and you were one of them. So I truly appreciate you for every single phone call, every text message, because the work is exhausting. So thank you, sir. Jump in. Let's walk us through your journey into education and the experience that prepared you to become superintendent of Johnson County Schools.
Well, I've had a variety of experience. One of my original plans was to look at law school, but I felt the calling from God to give back to students in education, because so many of my teachers when I was in school gave back to me. So I started out as a high school social studies teacher, and then I did a little coaching as well, cross country.
Cross country too. Sorry.
And from there, I had called to be a school counselor. I found myself because they knew I was a pastor as well, several of my students would come to me and talk about issues that were going on in their homes, in their families. And I always told them, if you tell me something that I have to be a mandated reporter for, I am going to share that, but I want to be that listening ear. So for 4 years, I was a high school social studies teacher. Then I became a counselor at the elementary and high school levels for 3 years. And as a counselor, what got me into leadership was I had one of my teachers that was a mentor to me at my old high school, which was West Lawrence High School. And he was assistant principal at the district that I'm serving as superintendent now. He said, wow. I'm going to retire. And he said, are you interested in being an administrator? And I said, I'm not, Dr. Plummer. I'm not interested in being an administrator. I want to coast out doing what I'm doing now. But again, God had that calling. And so I find myself being utilized as a counselor, as a free administrator. And I finally said to God, if I'm going to do administration, I'm not going to bootleg anymore. I'm going to go and get my credentials. And so I became an assistant principal in Johnson County Schools. And then after 3 years, I moved up to principal. My first principalship was at the elementary school neighboring. After that, I became a middle school principal. So that was 4 years as elementary, 3 years as a middle school principal. I went back to the school that I was the elementary principal. They had a vacancy, and I followed one of my mentors that I served as AP under. They had got him temporarily to come to be principal. So anyway, I went back to that district. I stayed a combination middle high school for 3 years, and then I came back to this district, Johnson County. I served as a middle high principal for 3 years, moved up to the district and as assistant superintendent of personnel, and then 5 years later, I'm sitting in the superintendent's chair and enjoying every minute of it.
Absolutely. I want to say to the listeners before they go any further, it's going to be church. It's two pastors on this podcast. So get ready, buckle up, because I'm pretty sure, just as you said, it's God. We're going to talk about it. Yes. Did you plan on ever being a superintendent?
I never planned on being an educational leader.
Oh my goodness.
My plan was that you may ask later on something that people didn't know about me. My plan was to teach school, earn some monies, and go to law school. But God told me in my sophomore year of college that you're not going to law school because you're a minister, and I don't need for you in that role to have those roles juggled. Now, some people can maneuver it well, but he said you're going to the schools because I want you to make a contribution to students.
So instead of being Johnny Cochran trying to get people off, he wanted you to save them before they even
That's exactly right. Mentorship, they turning around before they knew it.
So you know how many people you saved, God used you to save, that probably would have went to jail. That you probably wouldn't have been able to get off if you would have been a lawyer.
Very true, very true.
Oh my goodness, I love it. So Johnson County School serves just over 1,000 students across 3 schools. What are the unique opportunities and challenges of leading a small rural district?
Dr. Anthony, I know you know these challenges very well from serving. Number 1 is funding.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is funding. Number 3 is funding. And especially now, I had the benefit of coming on the tail end of when districts had COVID funds. Mm-hmm. So the majority of my leadership coming in was not under those COVID funds. So I had to go back and look at a realistic budget of what we had prior to COVID. And so the challenge was to make sure that there was available monies, because there was a little shortfall because of some spending things that we had in place because of COVID. And so one of the first things was to look and align, make sure that we had everything aligned with what our allotment sheet said, and to make sure that we were maximizing the monies that we had. So that was challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 was to make sure that we could not only recruit but retain highly qualified teachers, and make sure that our neighbors that were coming, that was next door to us, that were offering higher supplement, did not entice our teachers to come over. And because we have a great product, our scores are either number 1 or number 2 in our RESA, and we consistently are at the 50th percentile, which is not where we want to be, but it's better than where we could be. We have been able to retain our teachers because they said this is a great work environment, a great culture to come in and work. So leading a small district, you have to find ways to sell and market yourself to your constituents, to your stakeholders, in ways that sometimes the larger districts have more resources and can offer more privileges and advantages that we in smaller rural districts cannot.
I like how you said great product. We have a great product. And I wish the communities would know how important it is of academic achievement and having a great product. When you're graduating kids and you can say, I'm proud of that class, and it wasn't tied to sports. I mean, basketball is great, but having that kid go to college and to be able to be academically sound, that's what's important. So I thank you for saying we have a great product, even though you may not have the funding.
But I want to follow up on that too. One of the things that I feel like the Lord and other leaders helped me to see coming in, we had a different motto, but one of the first things I did coming in was survey and ask people, what do you think? What do you think we need to do? What do you see? And so everything that I heard collectively was unity, coming together more, letting everybody know that we have a great product, not only athletic, but academic, not only academic, but community oriented. And so the Lord gave me this motto, and I actually kind of put a spin on it from Marshall. Marshall University said, we are Marshall. Mm-hmm. So the We Are Joko came, and we sold it to the community, and all the stakeholders, even in town, they have the little moniker in We Are Joko, because it really does take the whole community to make it work.
Absolutely. And that leads us to the next question. What does that belief look like in practice? It takes the whole community. We are JOCO.
Dr. Anthony means everyone, not just the professional educators that wear the suits and the ties, or the ladies that wear the dresses or whatever, but it's your custodial people, it's your cafeteria workers, it's your bus drivers, it's your central office people, it's your secretary, it's people behind the scenes that are giving that support, as well as the teachers and the paraprofessionals on the front lines that administrate. It's not only them, it's the parents. And that's why we said we're JOCO, it takes the whole community. It's not only the parents, it's the business leaders who invest in the products that we have, because a lot of our kids will stay here in this community or not go far for them to feel proud. Well, it's not only the business owners. Being a pastor myself, it's the faith-based community, the local pastors and other people that are in the religious community showing their support. And not only that, it's the fans, because as I share with all of our stakeholders, we're only as good as the message that we put out. If we don't put out a good message about ourselves, message in the narrative. And so when we say we're JOCO, it takes the whole community. Law enforcement, we've got great support from them. Everybody in every role is important, from transportation to garbage collection to water and sewer to mayor and city council to county commissioners. Everybody in every seat is important, and it does take the whole community to have a successful school.
And then it goes back to what you said, your product. If you have a great product, everybody has to have hands on that great product, because you're producing it to go out and back into the community.
Yes.
If I release a great product, I'm welcoming that product right back in the community to become future workers and business owners. So,
and if I can share this too, you and our good friend Keith Brown said something. He came and did a presentation for our students last year, and part of this whole idea of product is thinking that we're making sure that we're focused on the most precious commodity that we have in our school, which are our students. And he started using the term scholars. And so we start calling our students scholars because we're showing that we're investing not only in their athletic progress, because we're known for that as well, but that academics, we want to have the whole student. So that's why we're saying the whole community investing in the whole student. And so that deals with that whole product that we're trying to do.
The school improvement was focusing on the whole child.
Yes.
So you guys are focusing on that as well in a broader sense. But I love it. I love it. What are y'all good at sports? It's football, right?
We just actually this year won our first state championship in boys tennis. So the tennis team we're good at softball.
Man.
We are fairly competitive in basketball.
Cheer
is good. Softball, baseball is good. Track, we've bought some hardware back from track. So for Class A school, we are very proud. Cross country competes pretty well. So we are pretty good in all of our sports.
So not only are you producing good academic product, you're producing good athletes as well. Okay.
Whole product.
Absolutely. How do you balance, the whole product, the academic improvement, student safety, because that changes, technology, strong instruction, a positive school culture, while meeting the needs of every child? Because I'm glad we own a good product, the whole product. So how do you balance that?
On focusing on the important. Putting emphasis on that. You and I are both parents, and you know that if a child is safe at school and the parents feel like they're safe at school, then that child is not only going to get a good education, but those parents are going to support that educational environment. So when we say that whole child again, or that this whole community, we look at the academic improvement, because that's what we're in the business of.
Absolutely.
So we make sure that the test scores are matching what they need to, and we have interventions in place. That's that whole child MTSS initiative, that we provide interventions for those kids that are not making the cut, so that we can help them be where they need to be. We live in a technology-rich society, and we're looking at things even with how AI now has become prevalent in our schools.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to make sure that we address that, gives good, strong instruction. Go back again to that teacher recruitment and retention piece. When you have good, high-quality instruction from good, high-quality teachers, you're going to have good, high-quality academic progress from your students. And then that positive culture thing, school culture. Nobody can argue with, if you live in this community or if you work in this community, whether you live in it or not, we're the only school right now in our community. So we're blessed to be able to say, if you get your education here in Johnson County and you go to school here in Johnson County, you went to Johnson County Public Schools. And so we truly can say we are JOCO, and it takes everybody. So that's how we kind of balance it, by making sure that we focus on what is needed in order to have a great school system. School safety, strong technology, strong high quality instruction, academic measures put in place and interventions to help those students that's not progressing, but also encouraging those students that are gifted, that accelerated learning, to give them opportunities for enrichment, and making sure that every child gets what they need in order for them to succeed.
Here's a mentor question. Seriously, your district is number one in the Oconee RESA when it comes to academic performance. We have a lot of new teachers coming in that didn't go the teacher education pathway. How do you get those teachers to perform at a high level in Johnson County to produce the results that you do?
We have a great partnership with Oconee RESA with our TAP program. We also give every teacher, every person that's new to our district, even if they've been a teacher in another district, they get a mentor. We do that mentorship. We do 3 years if you are new to education. But everybody, even if you're 27 years, if you come to our district, we're going to assign you a mentor. And that's been something that's been in place for many years. I think that kind of helps those teachers know they're here to support. Plus, I see our instructional coaches, they are very, very, very good, and they are very vigorous about finding teachers and offering their services to help them, whether it's classroom management, whether it's instructional delivery. They do a lot of things to help kind of supplement those teachers. Here's an interesting thing too. I didn't start out the traditional path either.
You didn't?
You remember I said that law school? So I started out in the College of Education. Georgia College is my undergrad. I started there, and then I wanted to go ahead and graduate because my degree was political science. Again, I was eyeing that law school thing. And so I graduated without the certification, decided to try to go back to Georgia College. And I'll name the school, Swainsboro High offered me a teaching position, but I had to work on my certification. My undergrad college, and most traditional colleges say, hey, we want you to quit your job while you're doing student teaching. Mm-hmm. But I was blessed that there was a small Christian college right next door, Bruton Parker College, which is now Bruton Parker Christian University. They allow students, and Mercer I know did this at night as well, they allow students to do their internship during the daytime and come and take classes at night. So for 2 years, I went from 6 o'clock to 8 or 10 to go get my certification. So a lot of what I'm talking about, I didn't come the traditional route. Yeah. And so I had a lot of mentors that helped me along the way. Yeah. Yes.
That leads us in a segue to the next question, because they need a mentor, and also leaders need a great mentor. Now, you have served as a mentor to me and many others. Why is mentoring future leaders important to you? And what response do experienced superintendents have to develop the next generation?
Great question. All the questions are great. My willingness to be a mentor was because I was mentored all throughout my process. But I had 2 mentors that really helped me with my leadership. One was Curtis Dixon, who was my middle high school principal. I worked as assistant principal under him, so that was my first. And then the other one was former RESA director, former Page president, Dr. Hayward Cordy, who's also from Johnson County. Dr. Cordy saw leadership in me, and he pulled me to the side. And I was a assistant principal, mainly doing more discipline stuff at the time. That's the way the position was fixed. He said, I need to get you in some instructional places so that you can talk more than discipline. And so his mentorship in telling me that there's a world outside of just being a disciplinarian, made me start looking at the position differently. And even going into my first principalship in elementary was a blessing, because I got a chance to focus on those critical pieces that he was talking about, that he was already starting to show me in my AP role. So my willingness to give back is because I had leaders who invested in me and told me that you have the potential Also, when I was at working on my specialist in leadership, had a retired former superintendent, Dr. Stripling, Dr. Charles Stripling, and he was a superintendent down in southwest Georgia near Albany. I think it's Pelham City. And he mentored me, and he was one of the first people. Now I'm working on my graduate degree. I'm still a counselor. He was one of the first people that told me, he said, I see a potential superintendency in you.
Wow. He spoke life into you. Come on, Pastor.
He spoke life into
me.
He spoke life into me. And so I had to call Dr. Stripling back last year. I had been trying to get his number, and I had to call him and thank him. And I said, Dr. Stripling, I want you to know that what you told me when I was working on my specialist degree in administration, that has come full circle. That now I've been serving this. At that time, it was my second or either third year. I was in between. I said, I'm a superintendent. I said, do you remember me? He said, of course I remember you. I remember all of my students. He said, especially those that I see something in. And so just to have that moment of having somebody who saw something in me made me feel very special. And everybody who sits in this role, because the superintendent is a lonely place.
Lonely.
And so being able to see those voices of people that said, you can do this work and reach it out. When I got into superintendency, I had two other guys that really helped me, and some ladies as well. My two mentors from GSSA was Dr. Curtis Jones, retired superintendent from Bibb County Schools, and Dr. Aaron Jeter, retired superintendent from Wilkinson County Schools. And so both of those gentlemen poured into me. And then I call her the queen, and former GSSA president, as well as Dr. Jeter was Dr. Nerese Price. So in our Oconee RESA, when I became a superintendent, I had leaders who had spent a lot of time in the superintendent, and they molded me and shaped me and helped me become the leader that I feel like that I am. And there's a whole lot more room to grow on, but I appreciate those leaders.
To serve 5 years in the seat, you definitely are doing something right. And you can tell someone has poured. You name some heavy people, man, some heavy hitters from Curtis Dixon, Haywood Cordy. You named Charles Stripling, Dr. Charles Stripling, Dr. Curtis Jones, Dr. Aaron Jeter, Nerese Price. Those are some heavy hitters in the education game. So just to have one of them.
Keith Porter he was our, when I went through my superintendent's training, superintendent professional development training, he was our program advisor, coordinator, and the wealth from what he shared with us after being in the position, like, wow.
Yeah. So, one mentor can change your life, but to have all of those names. But the story that I'm definitely going to remember is Dr. Charles Stripling, how he saw the potential and spoke life. And I do that. I try to see the potential even in students, in APs, principals, things that we may not get praised for. Yeah. So continue, please. Just this conversation alone has brought life into me, and the small things of just speaking life. You know, as a pastor, we speak life, and we have to be mindful of what comes out of the mouth. But I am intentional about just the things that I say to people. And I don't know if Dr. Charles Stripling is still alive. I thank God for him just for pouring life into you, because he has you here talking to me in the superintendent's chair.
He's still alive from the last time that I spoke with him. He's still mentoring and giving advice to students.
Absolutely.
He's not at the university level.
Right. Absolutely.
But he still has several people that call him and get advice from him.
Absolutely. Thank God for him. So how has serving as a bivocational pastor shaped your leadership, compassion, decision-making, and service as superintendent?
Servant leadership, plain and simple. There are decisions that the staff may not always know, but every decision, because you make decisions as a superintendent, that's going to affect the whole community, especially the whole schooling community. Mm-hmm. I pray. And a lot of the skills, I was a pastor before I got into the school system.
Wow.
And so 31 years in education and 34 years in ministry.
Oh, you were a young man, young pastor. Wow.
So those skills I had in the church helped me to maneuver with people that may not always agree with me, but they knew that I was trying to lead right and to do what was best. And just to have that resolve, some days when you feel like you're in this role by yourself, knowing that God is with you, and he said that I will be with you always. And so just knowing that Biblical stories, when Elijah felt like that he was by himself, God reminded him that I got some others out here doing the same work that you were doing. And so being a pastor kind of sometimes allows me to encourage myself and reach out to friends too that encourage me as well. But sometimes, as the song said, you have to encourage yourself too.
You got to encourage yourself. Absolutely. Especially in the superintendent role. The difficulty of serving in the superintendent role, and I want people to understand that we don't have anybody to really talk to, because if something is wrong in the district, and you have a board, that you can talk to, but you can't run in executive session and tell somebody what was talked about in closed session. So you have to take it to God, personnel and different things of that nature. You have to be able to take it to God. And I just appreciate you for the work. 5 years, unheard of. So what are you most proud of in Johnson County Schools? And what do you want people across Georgia to understand about Johnson County Schools? Joe Cole.
I'm most proud of product that we our students, and I'm not referring to the students as the product, I'm referring to the whole system as the product, the brand. We have a great school system with great teachers, great leaders, great community people, great parents, supporting the vision that we have here for our school, that this is a great school, this is a great community. I'm proud that we were able in this challenging economic environment that we're in right now, especially on the school landscape, to be able to have a balanced budget and not have to cut any staff, at least this year. So I'm proud that we have facilities that have been upgraded. When I worked here 20 years ago, there was facilities that people wanted to do and monies that they wanted to do things with those facilities, but we have been in a shape that we were able to make. I and previous superintendent, Mr. Eddie Morris, who's also the research director, to turn some things around to try to upgrade those facilities. And I'm mostly grateful that God allowed a countryman from next door to come and serve in this role as superintendent to make a difference.
Absolutely. I want to just say this, because when you said balanced budget, I was like, you all have a balanced budget? And I want to make sure the public understands that when you have a small district, our income or funds that we get doesn't go up, but the expenses go up. Yes. So if we have a budget of I'm just using this for an example, of $15 million, and costs of insurance are going up for every employee, we can't get any more money out of thin air. So to balance that budget, it is a difficult job. And I want to commend you for doing that, because most people don't understand how hard it is to keep employees when insurance costs are steady rising. So great job, sir. And to your board, I want to say to the Johnson County School Board, great job.
Great team, great board, great science, just a lot of people working together.
Absolutely. And as a fellow superintendent, I understand that. Now, superintendent, this is a part of the show where we ask 5 questions and 5 quick answers. You are now in the chair. All right. First question, beach or mountains?
Beach.
One word that best describes your leadership.
Servant leadership.
One word to describe your district.
A community.
One quality every superintendent must possess.
Patience.
And one thing people may be surprised to learn about you.
I thought I was supposed to be a lawyer. God showed me that I was not supposed to be, but
Absolutely.
That would probably be the one thing that would surprise people.
Every superintendent who takes a seat in the superintendent's chair receives the same final question. So, Dr. Watkins, looking back over your career, what is one decision that truly tested you as a leader, and what did that experience teach you?
The experience that comes to my mind was when I was an assistant principal, and we had a very public situation between a community member and a leader, and it ended up that we had to go to court. And one of the things that I had to decide was whether I was going to try to be on one side or the other or tell the truth. And I remember sitting in court, and the judge asked me the question. Well, the lawyer asked me the question, and I told them the truth. And then somebody said later on, we didn't think that you were going to say the truth. And I said that I have an oath, my ethical responsibility based on the code of ethics, to always try to be as truthful as I can. But I also answer to a higher call. And that higher call tells me that whatever I say, that I'm going to have to be accountable for it one day. And so I feel like that decision, Dr. Anthony, helped me, and I didn't realize that it was doing it at the time. That decision, being an assistant principal in that school, I think helped prepare me to be in the superintendent's chair today, because it's the same district that I started out. And by telling the truth and by not trying to take sides, it kind of showed he's the type of guy that's going to always try to do, no matter what role that he's in, try to do the right thing. Had I taken any side, I think that it would have caused problems for me coming back to my current district. But by being neutral and telling the truth without taking any sides, I felt like that God allowed that as a way to prepare me for all of my leadership positions that I've had, especially coming back to this district. Because there are people that still remember it.
That was a test of a word that we hear all the time, of integrity.
Yes.
Right? Doing the right thing regardless, whether someone's watching or not. So in that sense, you were tested to see what type of man of integrity you are going to be for the rest of your educational career.
Yes.
So, sir, I appreciate you. I thank you so much for being a man of integrity, for your leadership. I thank you for your mentorship. I thank you for your friendship. And I thank you for reminding us all that leadership is not about titles. Leadership. I know firsthand that you've invested in me, in my journey. And I know you've invested in the journeys of countless others, like others were to you. Your impact extends beyond Johnson County, and it reaches leaders across Georgia, churches, schools, and communities. So thank you for taking the time to share your story, and thank you for taking a seat in the superintendent's chair. Everyone watching and listening, if you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Spotify so you never miss an opportunity to learn from Georgia's educational leaders. And leadership is not about the chair you sit in. It's about the lives you live when you're sitting in it. I'm Dr. Anton Anthony, and we will see you next time on the Superintendent's Chair.